Okay, trade recap. I took a win today here on EURUSD, and we have the same context on the monthly as usual. Here, rejecting this monthly for value gap, but now we also have something to work with here on the weekly, because here we have now created this weekly bearish for value gap, which I am expecting to act as a bit of resistance to push lower. Not ideally to take out the low here, but just give a rejection to then continue higher. So that was what I traded today, the rejection of the weekly for value gap. So looking at the daily, we came into this, and here we can target the previous day's low. That was my drawn liquidity on the daily time frame and also on the 4-hour. Since we failed to create 4-hour bullish for value gaps quite a lot of times, we had the expansion here, but then we wicked, so we did not create for value gap. Then we had another expansion, then we came down, prevented the value gap from being created, and we did not show a lot of bullish momentum in my eyes. So what I was looking for here was we stung into the weekly for value gap before London session, actually during Asia, so we stung into that, but then during London we came up and we swept here the high with big displacement down. And my first drawn liquidity was, since this was a 4-hour swing high, I was expecting at least this 4-hour swing low to be taken. So, on the 15 minutes, we actually reached this target before I was able to get involved, but it doesn't matter, because to me, we showed no signs of sweeping this low. Simply because we were still respecting premium arrays. This 5 minutes for value gap should have been ran through if we were truly sweeping this, because premium arrays should not hold then. And then we created this 50 minutes for value gap eventually, almost overlapping with the lows. So when we came into it on the 1 minute time frame, the 50 minute for value gap right here, I waited for my 1 minute bearish for value gap, fast aggressive move lower here, and entered off of the creation, and I got filled right here. So this was the trade. I also covered the area where trap traders would get released here, 1 pip above, and targeted my simple 1 to 2 with spread. Also, here's something interesting I did this trade, or it's not really something new, but it could be very valuable to explain. Because here, after already this expansion lower, I was break even. This trade was risk free even after the first expansion lower. And why is that? Because I understand that if we want to continue lower, like truly continue lower and take profit, first of all, we should at least take this. And since we are so close, there's no reason for price to not take this 15-minute context target. And when we do that, that is the point where we reverse if we want to do so, because we do not, price simply does not just come down here, tease the liquidity, and then reverse after such a big move lower as well. Like, this is clear intention lower. So also when we have this expansion, we would have to come up and prevent this for value gap from being created. Oh wait, that let me put it this way. We should not come to this point up all the way to this first candle's low if we want to create this for value gap, this bearish for value gap. And also, since we were so close to this 50-minute short-term drawn liquidity, we should only sting into the fair value gap. We should not get a huge retracement all the way up here to then continue lower when we are so close to the drawn liquidity. the short-term draw. So I was break even after this expansion phase lower, and the take profit was perfectly hit right here. Very fast trade, took about 5 minutes, something like that. So very nice trade. And afterwards we are just now currently we have created this 1 hour bearish fair value gap that we can potentially continue lower off of towards this previous day low. So that was the trade.